sky is about to scream. A cosmic alarm you can't ignore. In April 2025, a solar eclipse will rip through the heavens, and it's not just a shadow crossing the sun. It's a galactic wake-up call, a spiritual reckoning that's already shaking the foundations of your reality. You might have felt it. The restless nights, the racing thoughts, the unshakable feeling that something massive is coming. This isn't just an eclipse. It's a doorway to transformation, a pulse from the universe demanding you wake up now. Are you ready to listen? Or will you miss the message that could change everything? What if the unease you've been feeling isn't random? That sudden anxiety, the vivid dreams, the strange heaviness in your chest. Could they be the universe whispering to you, preparing you for what's ahead? I felt it 2 years ago during my first eclipse in a small village called Solara. The sky darkened, and it was as if the world stopped breathing. I wasn't just watching an event. I was being spoken to, pulled into a sacred stillness that changed me forever. Have you noticed these signs in your life lately? The universe is already moving through you. Don't ignore it. If you've been feeling these changes, maybe a surge of emotions, sleeplessness, or an electric buzz in your body, I want to hear from you. Comment, "I have felt it," below, and let's uncover this cosmic mystery together. The energy is building, and you're not alone in this shift. Eclipses aren't just shadows. They're cosmic roars, echoing through the fabric of time to jolt us awake, to remind us of truths we've buried beneath the noise of modern life. In April 2025, this eclipse isn't a gentle nudge. It's a thunderous call to awaken, a spiritual checkpoint that could redefine your entire existence if you dare to listen. Ancient civilizations like the Sunari of the Eastern Plains and the Starweavers of the Northern Isles didn't just watch eclipses. They felt them, lived them, breathed them. To them, these celestial events weren't random spectacles in the sky. They were divine signatures, moments when the universe itself reached down to touch the earth, to whisper or sometimes shout. Messages of transformation, prophecy, and spiritual realignment. The Sunari, a people known for their intricate solar temples carved into the cliffs of the Eastern Plains, believed that eclipses were the breath of the gods, a sacred pause where the divine exhaled new possibilities into the world. Their priests would stand atop these temples, arms outstretched, as the sky darkened, chanting hymns to align their spirits with the cosmic rhythm. They understood that an eclipse wasn't just a visual phenomenon, it was a vibrational one, a shift in the very energy that binds the universe together. The Starweavers, on the other hand, saw eclipses as portals to the unseen, gateways where the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds grew thin. Living on the windswept Northern Isles, where the auroras danced in the night sky, they built stone circles aligned with celestial events, using them as amplifiers to channel the eclipse's energy. Their shamans would enter trances during these events, claiming to commune with ancestors and celestial beings who delivered prophecies of change. One such prophecy, etched into a stone tablet now housed in a museum in the Frosted Isles, speaks of a great shadow that would herald a new era of awakening. A shadow that many believe aligns with the eclipse of April 2025. These ancient peoples didn't have telescopes or scientific instruments, but they had something we've largely lost: a deep, intuitive connection to the cosmos. They felt the shifts in their bones, in their dreams, in the way the winds changed direction as the eclipse approached. And now, as we stand on the brink of this cosmic event, that same energy is stirring again. Only this time, it's more urgent, more insistent, because we're at a tipping point in human history. Here's the urgency. This isn't just history repeating itself. It's happening now, and it's happening to you. The energy in the air is electric, crackling with a power that's already shifting your consciousness, whether you realize it or not. Have you felt that eerie stillness lately, as if the world is holding its breath? That's not your imagination. It's the Earth's electromagnetic field trembling in response to this cosmic alignment. Scientists might call it a frequency shift, but I call it a cosmic alarm, a wake-up call that's impossible to ignore. During an eclipse, the sun's light, its vibrations, its information, its very essence, gets interrupted, creating a window where everything changes. The sun isn't just a ball of fire in the sky. It's a cosmic transmitter, sending out frequencies that shape life on Earth. Its light carries information encoded in waves and particles that interacts with our planet's atmosphere, our biological systems, and even our consciousness. Studies in bioelectromagnetics have shown that solar activity, like flares or eclipses, can influence human behavior, from increased anxiety to heightened creativity. During an eclipse, this signal gets momentarily disrupted, creating a unique energetic pause, a moment where the usual patterns of life are thrown into flux. This frequency shift isn't just a scientific curiosity, it's a spiritual opportunity. The Earth's electromagnetic field, which surrounds and permeates everything on the planet, responds to this cosmic alignment in ways we're only beginning to understand. Research from institutions like the Global Coherence Initiative has shown that solar events can cause measurable fluctuations in the Earth's magnetic field, which in turn affect everything from weather patterns to human emotions. During the 2019 eclipse over the Verdant Lands, scientists recorded a sudden drop in the Schumann resonance, the Earth's natural frequency, coinciding with reports of heightened emotional sensitivity among local populations. People described feeling unmoored, as if the ground beneath them had shifted, not physically but energetically. Some reported vivid dreams filled with symbols they couldn't decipher. Others felt a sudden urge to cry or laugh without knowing why. These aren't random reactions. They're your body and soul responding to the cosmic alarm, tuning into a new frequency that's being broadcast from the heavens. But this shift goes beyond science. It's deeply personal, deeply spiritual. The Sunari called this phenomenon the pulse of the eternal, a moment when the universe resets, offering us a chance to release old energies and step into something greater. Imagine the Earth as a living organism, its heartbeat synchronized with the cosmos. During an eclipse, it's as if the universe presses the pause button, allowing us to step out of the noise and reconnect with a deeper rhythm. This isn't just a metaphor, it's a felt experience. I remember standing in a field in Solara during an eclipse years ago, surrounded by a crowd of onlookers. As the sky darkened, the chatter faded, and a profound stillness settled over us. It wasn't just the absence of sunlight. It was as if time itself had stopped. I felt a tingling in my hands, a warmth in my chest, and a sudden clarity that brought tears to my eyes. In that moment, I understood. This wasn't just an event. It was a message, a call to awaken to something greater within myself. That same energy is building now, and it's not waiting for you to be ready. You might already be feeling the effects. A restlessness that keeps you up at night, a sense of urgency you can't explain, or a sudden wave of emotions that catches you off guard. These are the early tremors of the cosmic alarm, the universe's way of saying, pay attention, this is your moment. The eclipse of April 2025 isn't just a shadow crossing the sky. It's a spiritual invitation, a chance to align your consciousness with the rhythms of the cosmos. But here's the catch. This invitation comes with a deadline. The energy is already moving, and if you don't act, you risk being swept away by the tide. The Sunari believed that those who ignored the pulse of the eternal would remain trapped in cycles of stagnation, unable to evolve with the new energies being offered. The Starweavers, too, warned of the consequences of turning away from the portal. They spoke of souls who missed their chance to ascend, doomed to wander in the shadows of their own making. So what does this mean for you right now in this moment? It means you can't afford to sit on the sidelines. The frequency shift is already affecting you, whether you're aware of it or not. Your emotions might feel heightened. Maybe you've snapped at a loved one for no reason, or felt a sudden surge of inspiration that you can't explain. Your thoughts might be racing, jumping from one idea to the next, as if your mind is trying to keep up with the cosmic download. Even the weather around you might be acting strange. Unseasonal storms, sudden temperature drops, or an eerie calm that feels unnatural. These are all signs of the Earth responding to the eclipse's energy, and you're part of that response. The question is, will you fight it, or will you flow with it? Will you let the cosmic alarm wake you up, or will you hit the snooze button and miss the greatest opportunity of your lifetime? To harness this energy, start preparing now. Begin by paying attention to your body and mind. Keep a journal of your emotions, dreams, and physical sensations in the days leading up to the eclipse. Notice any patterns. Are you feeling more tired than usual? Are your dreams more vivid, filled with symbols or messages? Are you experiencing sudden bursts of energy or creativity? These are all clues that the frequency shift is already at work within you. Next, create space for stillness in your life. The Sunari and Starweavers knew the power of silence. They would retreat to sacred spaces during eclipses, away from the distractions of daily life, to listen to the universe's whisper. You can do the same. Find a quiet place, whether it's a park, a forest, or even a corner of your home, and spend time there each day, breathing deeply and grounding yourself in the present moment. This will help you attune to the cosmic rhythm, preparing you for the full force of the eclipse's energy when it arrives. Picture the sky as a celestial map, a vast canvas where the universe paints its messages in light and shadow, and the eclipse of April 2025 is carving a sacred path across the earth. A living, breathing thread that connects ancient energies with modern souls, whispering secrets that have been dormant for millennia. This isn't just an astronomical event. It's a cosmic pilgrimage, a journey that spans continents and cultures, linking the past with the present in a dance of transformation. The path of totality, the narrow corridor where the sun will vanish completely, plunging the world into an eerie twilight, begins its journey over the shimmering expanse of the azure ocean, a body of water so vast it's said to hold the memories of the earth in its depths. Fishermen in the region speak of strange phenomena in the days leading up to eclipses. Schools of fish swimming in perfect circles, as if guided by an unseen force, and waters that glow faintly at night, reflecting the cosmic energy above. As the shadow moves, it touches the western shores of the verdant lands, a region of rolling hills and dense forests where the air hums with the songs of ancient spirits. From there, the eclipse sweeps into Taikalara, a land steeped in the legacy of the Starweavers, whose ancient ruins still stand as testaments to their celestial wisdom. The Starweavers built their temples with precision, aligning them with the stars to capture the energy of events like this one. One such temple, the Sanctuary of Lumina, is a sprawling complex of stone pyramids and obelisks, its central altar perfectly positioned to catch the first shadow of the eclipse. Local legends say that during past eclipses, the altar would hum with a low, resonant frequency, a sound that could be felt in the chest, as if the earth itself were singing. The Starweavers believed this was the voice of the cosmos, a message of renewal and awakening, and they would gather in the thousands to witness it, their voices rising in chants that echoed through the valleys. Today, the people of Taikalara still honor this tradition, preparing for the eclipse with rituals of purification, bathing in sacred springs, burning herbs to cleanse the air, and offering prayers to the spirits of their ancestors. They believe the eclipse will amplify the energy of their land, awakening the spirits that have slumbered for centuries. As the shadow continues its journey, it stretches into the Heartland territories, a region rich with indigenous heritage, where the land itself feels alive with history. The Heartland people, known as the Earthkeepers, have long revered eclipses as moments of communion with the sky. Their oral traditions tell of a great eclipse centuries ago that marked the beginning of a golden age, a time when their ancestors discovered new ways of healing and living in harmony with nature. During that eclipse, the Earthkeepers gathered in sacred circles, their bodies painted with symbols of the sun and moon, and danced under the darkened sky, believing their movements would help the sun return. Today, the Earthkeepers are preparing for April 2025 with the same reverence, but also with a sense of urgency. Elders in the community have reported visions of a great reckoning, a time when the eclipse will bring not just transformation but also challenges, floods, storms, and social unrest that will test humanity's resilience. They're calling on their people to prepare, to strengthen their connection to the land through ceremonies and offerings, ensuring they're ready for whatever the eclipse may bring. The shadow then races eastward, grazing the Frosted Isles, a chain of islands where the air is sharp with the scent of salt and pine. Here, the people have a deep connection to the sea, and their myths speak of eclipses as moments when the ocean itself speaks. Fishermen in the Frosted Isles have reported strange occurrences in the days leading up to past eclipses. Whales singing songs that echo for miles, and waves that seem to pulse in rhythm with the moon's shadow. During the eclipse of April 2025, the islanders plan to gather on their shores, lighting bonfires to honor the sea spirits and offering gifts of shells and flowers to ensure safe passage through the cosmic storm. From the Frosted Isles, the eclipse crosses the Great Eastern Sea, a vast expanse of water that separates the continents, its surface shimmering like a mirror under the darkened sky. Sailors in the region have long feared eclipses, believing they stir the sea into a frenzy, but they also see them as opportunities for renewal, a chance to cleanse their ships and their spirits in the shadow's wake. Finally, the eclipse reaches the sunlit deserts, a land of golden sands and ancient monuments that have stood for millennia. Here, the pyramids of Zephyr rise like sentinels, their smooth stone surfaces reflecting the last rays of the sun before the shadow falls. The pyramids, built by a civilization known as the Sandweavers, are aligned with celestial events, their apexes designed to catch the first light of the returning sun after an eclipse. The Sandweavers believed that eclipses were moments of cosmic balance, when the energies of light and shadow merged to create a new harmony. Nearby, the stone circle of Eldora stands as another testament to this ancient wisdom. A ring of massive stones, each carved with symbols of the sun, moon, and stars, that hums with energy during celestial events. Archaeologists have found evidence of rituals at Eldora dating back thousands of years. Charred remains of sacred herbs, offerings of gold and obsidian, and bones of animals sacrificed to honor the gods. The people of the sunlit deserts still visit these sites during eclipses, bringing offerings of their own and praying for guidance in the days ahead. Here's where the suspense builds, where the stakes become even higher. Some believe these sacred sites aren't random. They're nodes in a vast energy grid, a spiritual network that channels universal power across the earth. This theory, often called the Web of Light, suggests that sites like the Pyramids of Zephyr, the Stone Circle of Eldora, and the Sanctuary of Lumina are connected by invisible lines of energy, sometimes called ley lines, that form a global network of power. When an eclipse passes over these points, it doesn't just cast a shadow, it ignites them, amplifying energies that have been dormant for centuries. Imagine the Earth's energy surging, like a radio tuning into a frequency we've forgotten, a frequency that resonates with the deepest parts of our being. Researchers like Dr. Alina Vorin, a geophysicist who has studied the web of light for decades, have found evidence of electromagnetic anomalies at these sites during eclipses, spikes in energy that can't be explained by conventional science. During the 2017 eclipse in the Heartland territories, Dr. Vorin recorded a sudden increase in low-frequency waves emanating from a sacred mound, coinciding with reports of heightened intuition among those nearby. People described feeling a buzz in their bodies, as if they were being tuned to a new vibration, and some even claimed to receive visions of the future. Could this alignment awaken something within you? Could it open portals to new truths, or even unlock dormant potentials you didn't know you had? The sacredness of these sites, combined with the eclipse's raw power, suggests we're on the brink of a spiritual explosion, a moment when the web of light activates, sending ripples of energy across the planet. Imagine standing in Tykalara as the shadow falls, feeling the ground beneath you hum with the same frequency the Starweavers felt thousands of years ago. Imagine being in the sunlit deserts, watching the pyramids of Zephyr glow faintly in the darkness, as if lit from within by an ancient power. This isn't just an event, it's a cosmic activation, and you're standing at the heart of it. But with activation comes responsibility. The Earthkeepers of the Heartland territories warn that this energy can be overwhelming if you're not prepared. Some may feel dizzy, disoriented, or even panicked as the web of light surges. To ground yourself, they recommend walking barefoot on the earth, connecting directly with the planet's energy, and drinking water infused with herbs like sage or lavender to cleanse your system. The eclipse's path isn't just a geographical journey. It's a spiritual one, a call to connect with the sacred sites and the energies they hold. If you're in one of these regions, or even if you're far away, you can tap into this energy by visualizing the path of totality, imagining the shadow moving across the earth, activating each sacred site in turn. Close your eyes and picture the azure ocean glowing with cosmic light, the Sanctuary of Lumina humming with ancient songs, the Pyramids of Zephyr standing as beacons of transformation. Feel the web of light connecting these places, connecting you to them, and let that energy flow through you. This is your chance to be part of something greater, to align with the cosmic map that's being drawn in the sky. Don't just watch the eclipse. Live it, feel it, become it. The universe is calling. Will you answer? Now let's shift our gaze from the sky to the numbers woven into this moment. A hidden language that speaks of transformation and evolution. A subtle undercurrent that amplifies the power of April 2025. Numbers aren't just symbols. They're vibrations, frequencies that resonate with the universe's rhythm, and the numerological dance of this eclipse is sounding a clarion call for change. If we break down the month and year, April, the third month, and 2025, which reduces to 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 is equal to 9, then 3 plus 9 is equal to 12, and 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. But let's focus on a broader interpretation, as the day itself isn't specified. Instead, let's consider the year 2025. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 is equal to 9, and the month 3, combined in a different method often used by numerologists, where we focus on the year's vibration and its influence on the month. However, for simplicity, let's explore the essence of the eclipse's energy through a different lens. The number 5, which emerges when we consider the broader cosmic cycles at play, as 5 often appears in eclipse years when calculated through ancient numerological systems like those of the Starweavers. The number 5 is a symbol of freedom, evolution, and breaking free from chains, a number that demands movement, that refuses to let you stay still. Throughout history, the energy of 5 has marked turning points, moments when humanity was forced to evolve or perish. Think of the Great Awakening in the Verdant Lands, a time of exploration and discovery that began in the 15th century, a year that also carried the 5 vibration in its broader cycle. During that era, the Verdant Lands saw a renaissance of thought and culture, with explorers sailing across the azure ocean to discover new lands, philosophers questioning old dogmas, and healers developing new medicines from the forests. This was a time of breaking free from constraints, of embracing the unknown, and it was fueled by the same energy that's surging through April 2025. The number 5 doesn't whisper. It shouts, demanding that you step out of your comfort zone, that you release the chains of fear, doubt, and stagnation, and step into a new era of possibility. In numerology, 5 is the number of dynamic motion, of adventure, of change that feels both exhilarating and terrifying. It's the energy of a river breaking through a dam, unstoppable and fierce, carving a new path through the landscape of your life. But this isn't a gentle shift. It's a cosmic shove, a demand from the universe that you evolve now, before the shadow falls. The eclipse isn't just a shadow in the sky. It's a mirror reflecting your own inner transformation, a mirror that shows you the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. What patterns are you clinging to that no longer serve you? Are you holding on to a job that drains your soul, a relationship that stifles your growth, or a belief that keeps you small? The number 5 won't let you hide. It's here to break you open, to force you to face the truth and act on it. I've seen this energy at work in my own life. Years ago, during a year that carried the 5 vibration, I found myself at a crossroads. I was working a job that left me exhausted, living a life that felt like a lie. As an eclipse approached, I felt a restlessness I couldn't ignore, a pull to change everything. I quit my job, moved to Solara, and started a new path, one that led me to this moment speaking to you now. That eclipse, that 5 energy, was my wake-up call, and April 2025 is yours. The transformative power of 5 isn't just personal, it's collective. Throughout history, periods marked by the 5 vibration have coincided with societal shifts that changed the course of humanity. In the 5th century, the fall of the Sunari Empire, a civilization that had ruled the eastern plains for centuries, marked the beginning of a new era of smaller, more egalitarian societies. The Sunari had become stagnant, their leaders clinging to old ways, but the 5 energy of that time broke their empire apart, making way for new ideas, new cultures, new ways of being. Fast forward to the 15th century, and we see the same pattern. The Great Awakening in the Verdant Lands wasn't just about exploration, it was about revolution, about breaking free from the feudal systems that had kept people in chains. The 5 vibration doesn't care about your comfort, it cares about your growth, and it will tear down anything that stands in the way of that growth. So what does this mean for April 2025? It means we're on the brink of another turning point, a moment when the old structures of our world, both personal and collective, will be tested. The eclipse, carrying the 5 vibration, is a catalyst for this change. A cosmic shove that will push us to let go of what no longer serves us and embrace what's next. On a personal level, this might look like finally leaving that toxic relationship, starting that business you've been dreaming of, or speaking your truth for the first time. On a collective level, it could mean the collapse of outdated systems, governments, economies, social norms that have kept humanity stuck. We're already seeing the cracks. Protests in the heartland territories, environmental crises in the Azure Ocean, technological shifts that are upending the way we live. The eclipse of April 2025 could be the spark that turns these cracks into a full-blown transformation. A new era where freedom, evolution, and change are the guiding forces. But here's the urgency. This energy isn't waiting for you to catch up. The 5 vibration is already moving, and if you don't act, you risk being left behind. The Starweavers had a saying, "When the 5 wind blows, you must sail with it or be swept away." This is your moment to sail, to harness the energy of change and use it to propel yourself forward. Start by asking yourself the hard questions. What am I ready to release? What fears have I outgrown? What new horizons are calling me? Write down your answers and don't hold back. Then, take one concrete step toward change before the eclipse arrives, whether it's having that difficult conversation, signing up for that course, or simply deciding to let go of a limiting belief. The 5 energy rewards action, not hesitation, and the eclipse will amplify whatever you set in motion. On a practical level, you can align with the 5 vibration by embracing its qualities: freedom, adventure, and movement. Spend time in nature, where the energy of 5 flows freely. Hike through the forests of the verdant lands, swim in the rivers of Taikalara, or simply walk barefoot on the grass in your backyard. Move your body, dance, run, stretch, because the 5 vibration thrives on physical expression. And seek out new experiences. Try something you've never done before, whether it's learning a new skill, traveling to a new place, or meeting new people. The more you embody the energy of 5, the more you'll be able to harness the transformative power of the eclipse. This isn't a time to play small. It's a time to step into your power, to let the cosmic shove of April 2025 propel you into a new version of yourself. The universe is shouting, demanding you evolve. Don't wait for the sky to darken. Start now, because this energy is already here, and it's not slowing down for anyone. Imagine the eclipse as a sacred pause, a moment when the universe hits the brakes on its endless rhythm, creating a silence so profound it feels alive. A silence that demands your attention and forces you to look within. This isn't just a celestial event. It's a cosmic intermission, a breath where the world holds still, and you're left with nothing but the raw truth of your own soul. When the sky darkens in April 2025, it's not just the sun disappearing. It's the light within you being tested, challenged, brought to the surface in a way that can't be ignored. The shadow isn't here to scare you. It's here to reveal you, to strip away the masks you've worn, the stories you've told yourself, and the fears you've buried deep. What are you hiding from? What desires have you suppressed, afraid to let them see the light? What truths have you locked away, hoping they'd never resurface? The eclipse demands you look, and it won't wait for you to be ready. It's coming for you, whether you're prepared or not. This sacred pause isn't just a metaphor. It's a felt experience, a moment when the ordinary rhythm of life is interrupted, and you're given a chance to step out of the noise and into the stillness. I experienced this firsthand during an eclipse in Solara, a small village nestled in the verdant lands. I stood in a field with dozens of others, the air thick with anticipation as the moon began to cover the sun. As the sky darkened, a hush fell over the crowd, but it wasn't just the absence of sound. It was as if the world itself had stopped breathing. I felt a heaviness in my chest, a tingling in my fingertips, and then a wave of emotion I couldn't explain. Memories I'd long suppressed came flooding back, moments of shame, of fear, of longing, and I realized I'd been running from them for years. In that sacred pause, I couldn't run anymore. The eclipse held a mirror to my soul, and I had to look. I cried, I laughed, and I felt a release I didn't know I needed. That moment changed me. It showed me the power of the shadow, the power of facing what I'd been avoiding. The shadow isn't your enemy. It's your teacher, your guide, your catalyst for growth. In the light, we see what's comfortable, what's familiar, what's safe. But in the shadow, we see what's real. The eclipse of April 2025 is a cosmic mirror, reflecting the hidden parts of yourself you've been too afraid to face. Maybe it's a fear of failure that's kept you from pursuing your dreams, or a suppressed desire for love that you've buried under layers of self-protection. Maybe it's a truth about yourself you've refused to acknowledge, that you're stronger than you think, that you're worthy of more than you've allowed yourself to have. The shadow doesn't judge. It simply reveals, and it's up to you to decide what to do with what you see. Will you turn away, pretending you didn't see the truth? Or will you step into the darkness, embrace it, and let it transform you? This cosmic pause effect is already stirring, and it's more powerful than you might realize. People across the Heartland territories, the Frosted Isles, and beyond report sudden shifts during eclipses, vivid dreams that feel like messages from another realm, emotional surges that come out of nowhere, moments of clarity that hit like a bolt of lightning. During the 2019 eclipse in Taikalara, a woman named Mara, a local healer, described a vision she had as the sky darkened. She saw herself standing on a cliff, the wind whipping around her, and a voice telling her to let go. When she woke from the vision, she realized she'd been holding onto a grudge against her sister for years, a grudge that had poisoned her heart. In that moment of clarity, she knew she had to forgive, not for her sister, but for herself. She reached out that same day, and their reconciliation brought healing to their entire family. Mara's story isn't unique. Thousands of people report similar experiences during eclipses, from sudden insights to emotional breakthroughs that change the course of their lives. You might be feeling it too, even now, in the days leading up to April 2025. Have you noticed a heaviness in your chest, a racing mind, or an unshakable sense that something's about to break open? Maybe you've had dreams that feel too real to be random, dreams of falling, of flying, of standing in a vast, empty space with a voice calling your name. Maybe you've felt a sudden wave of sadness, or a burst of anger, or a longing you can't explain. These aren't random. They're your soul responding to the cosmic pause, preparing you for the moment when the eclipse strips away the noise and gives you a clear view of your inner world. That's the power of the eclipse. It doesn't just change the sky. It changes you, if you let it. It's not that the eclipse causes these shifts. It's that the space it creates makes them possible, giving you a window to see what's been hidden, to feel what's been suppressed, to heal what's been broken. But here's the urgency. This window won't stay open forever. The cosmic pause is a fleeting moment, a brief intermission in the endless flow of time, and if you don't act, you'll miss it. The eclipse isn't here to coddle you. It's here to challenge you, to push you to grow, to demand that you face your shadows before the light returns. Don't wait for the sky to darken. Start now, because the energy is already building, and it's relentless. Begin by creating space for reflection in your life. Set aside time each day to sit in silence, to breathe deeply, to listen to the whispers of your soul. Ask yourself the hard questions. What am I ready to release? What fears have I outgrown? What truths am I avoiding? Write down your answers and don't hold back. Let the shadow speak. Let it reveal what you've been hiding. Then, take one small step toward facing that truth, whether it's admitting a fear to a friend, journaling about a suppressed desire, or simply acknowledging a part of yourself you've ignored. The eclipse will amplify whatever you set in motion, so start now, before the shadow falls. On a practical level, you can prepare for the cosmic pause by grounding yourself in the present moment. The Earth Keepers of the Heartland Territories recommend a simple practice. Find a quiet place in nature, sit with your back against a tree, and breathe deeply, imagining your breath connecting you to the Earth's rhythm. Feel the ground beneath you, the air around you, the heartbeat of the planet syncing with your own. This will help you stay centered when the eclipse's energy hits, preventing you from being overwhelmed by the emotional surges that often accompany the cosmic pause. You can also use crystals like amethyst or black tourmaline, which are known for their grounding and protective properties. Hold them in your hand or place them on your body as you meditate, letting their energy anchor you in the moment. Eclipses have never been mere events. They're cosmic rites of passage, moments when the veil between worlds thins, and the universe speaks in symbols, stories, and truths that echo through the ages. In April 2025, the eclipse isn't just a shadow crossing the sky. It's a portal to the ancient wisdom of our ancestors, a call to remember the lessons they left behind, lessons that can guide us through this transformative moment. In the ancient lore of the Moonweavers, a people who lived along the shores of the Great Eastern Sea, the tale of Zephyr and Kale tells of a celestial being who sought eternal light by stealing the nectar of the gods during a cosmic feast. Zephyr, driven by a thirst for immortality, disguised himself as a god and drank the sacred elixir, but his deception was discovered by the sun and moon, who severed his head, leaving him as a head without a body. In his rage, Zephyr swore revenge, chasing the sun and moon across the sky, swallowing them briefly during an eclipse. But because he has no body, the light always escapes, emerging brighter than before. This myth isn't just a story, it's a warning, a reminder of the eternal dance between light and shadow, deception and revelation, and the truth that darkness is never permanent. The Moonweavers would gather on their beaches during eclipses, lighting fires to honor Zephyr's journey, believing that his struggle mirrored their own. A struggle to find balance, to face their shadows, and to emerge renewed. The Starweavers of Tykalara, a land of ancient ruins and sacred springs, saw eclipses as gateways to the underworld, a realm they called Umbrella, where the sun journeyed to be reborn. To them, the darkening of the sky wasn't a moment of fear but a sacred space for transformation, a chance for the old self to die and the new self to emerge. The Starweavers believed that during an eclipse, the sun descended into Umbrella, a shadowy realm ruled by the Lords of Night, where it faced trials of fire and ice before rising again, purified and renewed. This journey mirrored the soul's journey through life, through darkness, through challenge, through rebirth. During eclipses, the Starweavers would hold ceremonies in their temples, painting their bodies with symbols of the sun and moon, and offering gifts of maize and obsidian to the Lords of Night, asking for strength and guidance. One of their most sacred rituals involved a dance called the Dance of Shadows, where participants moved in a circle, mimicking the sun's journey through Umbrella, their movements slow and deliberate, as if they were walking through the underworld themselves. The Starweavers believed that by participating in this dance, they could align their spirits with the sun's rebirth, shedding their own shadows and emerging stronger, wiser, more connected to the cosmos. In the Frosted Isles, the myth of Fenrir the wolf tells a different story, one of resilience and the cyclical nature of existence. The islanders believed that Fenrir, a massive wolf with eyes like burning coals, chased the sun across the sky, his brother Skoll pursuing the moon. During an eclipse, Fenrir would finally catch the sun, swallowing it whole, plunging the world into darkness. But the myth doesn't end there. The sun would fight its way out of Fenrir's jaws, emerging brighter than before, a symbol of light's triumph over darkness. The islanders saw this as a metaphor for their own lives, which were often harsh and unforgiving, marked by long winters and treacherous seas. They believed that eclipses were moments of testing, when the universe challenged them to endure, to hold on, to trust that light would return. During eclipses, they would gather on their cliffs, beating drums and singing songs of resilience, their voices rising over the roar of the ocean. They'd light bonfires to guide the sun back, believing that their collective energy could help it escape Fenrir's grasp. This ritual wasn't just symbolic. It was a way of affirming their own strength, their own ability to survive the darkest moments and emerge into the light. These stories, though different in their details, share a common thread. They speak of life, death, and rebirth, of the eternal cycles that govern existence, and of the truth that even in our darkest moments, light is never truly gone. The Moonweavers, Starweavers, and Islanders of the Frosted Isles understood that eclipses were more than celestial events. They were cosmic resets, moments when the universe pressed the refresh button on humanity's consciousness, offering a chance to let go of the old and embrace the new. But what if this isn't just mythology? What if eclipses have been driving human evolution all along, acting as spiritual blackouts that mark the end of one era and the beginning of another? Throughout history, Eclipses have coincided with dramatic shifts, civilizations rising and falling, revolutions igniting, new philosophies emerging from the ashes of the old. In the 5th century, the fall of the Sunari Empire coincided with a series of eclipses that the Sunari priests interpreted as omens of change. Their records, preserved in clay tablets, speak of a great shadow that would end their reign. And sure enough, their empire crumbled, making way for new societies that were more equitable, more connected to the land. Fast forward to the 15th century, and we see the same pattern. A total eclipse in the verdant lands marked the beginning of the Great Awakening, a time when explorers, philosophers, and healers broke free from the constraints of their time, ushering in a new era of discovery. Even in more recent history, eclipses have aligned with pivotal moments. The 1919 eclipse, which confirmed Einstein's theory of relativity, sparked a revolution in science, changing the way we understand the universe. Could these shifts be more than coincidence? Could eclipses be cosmic catalysts, subtly guiding our evolution through their energy, their timing, their power? The eclipse of April 2025 could be part of this grand pattern, a spiritual checkpoint that marks the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. But what ancient codes will this eclipse unlock? Will we hear the universe's next whisper? Or will we miss it entirely, too caught up in the noise of our daily lives to notice the message? The energy of this eclipse is already building, and it's not waiting for you to catch up. The myths of Zephyr, Umbrella, and Fenrir aren't just stories. They're warnings, reminders that the darkness is temporary, but its lessons are eternal. The Moonweavers, Starweavers, and Islanders all understood this, and they prepared for eclipses with rituals, ceremonies, and a deep reverence for the cosmic cycle. You can do the same. Start by connecting with the energy of these myths. Light a candle to honor Zephyr's journey. Dance in a circle to mimic the Starweaver's dance of shadows, or sing a song of resilience like the Islanders of the Frosted Isles. These acts aren't just symbolic. They're ways of aligning your spirit with the eclipse's energy, preparing you for the transformation that's coming. The eclipse isn't just a moment. It's a movement, a chance to reset your life, your soul, your place in the universe. Don't let it pass you by. Step into the darkness, face the lessons it holds, and emerge into the light, reborn and ready for what's next. The eclipse of April 2025 isn't something to watch. It's something to live, to breathe, to embody with every fiber of your being. It's a call to action, a demand to align with its energy before it sweeps you away in a torrent of transformation you're not prepared for. This isn't a passive event. It's a cosmic storm, and if you don't anchor yourself, you risk being overwhelmed by its power. But you don't have to face it unprepared. Let's dive into spiritual practices that will not only help you survive the storm but thrive in it, turning this astronomical phenomenon into a soul-driven experience that changes you forever. These aren't just rituals. They're lifelines, bridges between you and the universe, tools to help you harness the eclipse's energy and use it to awaken, heal, and create. First, let's start with the eclipse breath, a lifeline to the universe's rhythm, a practice that will anchor you in the midst of the cosmic chaos. Find a quiet space, away from the distractions of daily life, a forest clearing in the verdant lands, a secluded beach in the Frosted Isles, or even a corner of your home where you can be alone with your thoughts. Sit with your spine straight, your feet flat on the ground, and close your eyes. Inhale deeply through your nose, filling your lungs completely, as if you're breathing in the last rays of the sun before the shadow falls. Hold the breath for a few seconds, feeling the warmth, the light, the energy of the sun filling your body. Then exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing any tension, any fear, any negativity you've been carrying. As you exhale, imagine the eclipse's shadow passing over you, cleansing you, stripping away the old to make way for the new. With each inhale, breathe in the cosmic energy of transformation. With each exhale, release the stagnant, the heavy, the outdated. Picture the sun partially covered by the moon, the sky darkening, the world holding its breath, and feel your own breath syncing with that rhythm, becoming the pulse of the universe itself. Do this for 10 minutes or longer if you can, allowing your breath to become the rhythm of your soul's awakening. The eclipse breath isn't just a breathing exercise. It's a gateway to cosmic flow, a way to align your energy with the eclipse's power. I've used this practice during past eclipses, and the results have been profound. During an eclipse in Solara, I sat by a river, breathing in sync with the shadow's movement, and felt a surge of clarity I'd never experienced before. It was as if the universe was speaking directly to me, telling me to let go of a fear I'd been carrying for years, a fear of failure that had kept me from pursuing my dreams. As I exhaled, I felt that fear leave my body, and when the sun returned, I felt lighter, freer, more myself than I'd ever been. The eclipse breath can do the same for you, but you have to commit to it. Don't just go through the motions. Feel the energy, let it move through you, let it change you. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the eclipse's energy, maybe you're experiencing anxiety, restlessness, or a sense of unease, this practice can help you ground yourself, bringing you back to center so you can face the storm with clarity and strength. Next, let's move to shadow journaling, a raw, unfiltered conversation with your soul, a practice that will help you confront the shadows within and release them before the eclipse arrives. The eclipse is a time when the hidden parts of yourself, your fears, your suppressed desires, your buried truths, come to the surface, and if you're not prepared, they can overwhelm you. Shadow journaling is a way to face those shadows head-on, to give them a voice, to let them speak so you can let them go. Grab a pen and a notebook, and find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Light a candle if you can. It will help create a sacred atmosphere, a space where you can be honest with yourself. Begin by asking yourself powerful questions. What am I ready to release? What fears have I outgrown? What beliefs no longer serve my highest good? Write freely, without censoring your thoughts, without worrying about grammar or structure. Let your pen flow like a river, pouring out everything that's been tucked away in the corners of your mind. Every doubt, every shame, every longing you've been too afraid to acknowledge. This isn't about writing something pretty. It's about writing something true. Let the shadow speak. Let it reveal what you've been hiding, even from yourself. Maybe you'll uncover a fear of rejection that's kept you from speaking your truth, or a suppressed desire for adventure that you've buried under the weight of responsibility. Maybe you'll realize you've been holding onto a grudge, a resentment, a story that's kept you stuck. Whatever comes up, don't judge it. Just write it down, let it be seen, let it be felt. When you've finished writing, take a moment to reflect on what you've uncovered. Read your words aloud if you can, or simply sit with them, feeling the weight of what you've been carrying. Then release it. Tear the page from your notebook, burn it safely in a fireproof container, or bury it in the earth, imagining the shadow dissolving, the weight lifting, the old energy making way for the new. This act of release is as important as the writing itself. It's a ritual of surrender, a way to honor your growth and create space for the transformation the eclipse will bring. Finally, let's explore the cosmic mirror ritual, a powerful practice to confront your truth in the light and shadow of the eclipse. A ritual that will help you see yourself as you truly are and align with your highest self. Mirrors have long been symbols of reflection, not just of our outer appearance, but of our inner worlds. And this ritual uses that symbolism to create a sacred space where you can face your own truth. Set up a small altar with a mirror, ideally one that's clear and clean, free of smudges or scratches. Surround it with natural elements that resonate with you. Crystals like amethyst or rose quartz, flowers from your garden, or stones you've collected from a meaningful place. Light a candle to represent the sun's energy, a symbol of illumination and clarity, and place it in front of the mirror, letting its flame reflect in the glass. Sit comfortably in front of the mirror, your gaze soft but steady, and take a few deep breaths to center yourself. As the eclipse begins, or in the days leading up to it, if you're preparing ahead, gaze into your reflection, not just at your face but into your soul. Look into your own eyes and ask yourself, what truth am I avoiding? What part of me is yearning to be seen? How can I align with my highest self? Don't rush the process. Let your mind quiet, your heart speak, your intuition guide you. You might notice thoughts bubbling up, emotions rising to the surface, or even images flashing in your mind. Maybe you'll see a younger version of yourself, a child who felt unworthy, and realize you've been carrying that wound ever since. Maybe you'll feel a surge of anger, or sadness, or joy, as a part of you that's been hidden demands to be acknowledged. Whatever comes up, don't look away. Stay with it, feel it, let it be. This is your sacred dialogue with yourself, a moment to see the truth and decide what to do with it. When you're ready, thank the mirror for reflecting your truth, and close the ritual with a deep breath of gratitude, feeling the energy of the eclipse anchoring your intention to grow, to heal, to become. The power of intention is the final piece of this puzzle, a practice that will help you not just release but create, planting seeds during the eclipse that will blossom long after the shadow has passed. Eclipses are fertile ground for intention setting, moments when the universe is listening more closely than ever, ready to amplify whatever you put into motion. But your intentions need to be clear, specific, and aligned with your soul's purpose. Instead of vague wishes like, "I want to be happy," try something more focused. "I intend to release fear and embrace my personal power," or "I am open to new opportunities that align with my highest good." Write your intention on a piece of paper, hold it in your hands, and feel the energy of your desire. Feel it in your heart, in your body, in your breath. Then, light a candle and place the paper beneath it, visualizing your intention taking root and growing strong as the flame burns. Alternatively, sit quietly under the eclipse's energy, whether outside or by a window, and hold space for your intention, feeling it ripple out into the universe, knowing that the cosmos is listening, responding, guiding you toward your highest path. The eclipse of April 2025 isn't just your story. It's our story, a global phenomenon that will ripple through the collective consciousness of humanity like a tidal wave, shaking the foundations of our world and demanding that we evolve together. This isn't a local event confined to the regions in the path of totality. It's a cosmic wave that will touch every corner of the earth, from the azure ocean to the sunlit deserts, from the frosted isles to the heartland territories. Eclipses have always been more than shadows crossing the sky. They're sacred moments when humanity's consciousness aligns with the universe, creating a surge of energy that's far greater than the sum of its parts. The alignment of the sun, moon, and earth during an eclipse forms a perfect channel of light and shadow, a conduit for cosmic energy that influences not just the natural world, but the unseen energies that connect us all. This is the power of the collective, the power of millions of souls tuning into the same frequency, and April 2025 is our chance to harness that power for transformation. History shows us that eclipses have a strange way of aligning with massive global shifts, moments when the old structures of our world crumble, and new possibilities emerge from the ashes. In 2017, a total solar eclipse swept across the heartland territories, casting its shadow over a land already simmering with tension. Just months later, social movements erupted across the region. Protests for justice, calls for equality, a collective cry for change that couldn't be ignored. The eclipse didn't cause these movements, but it amplified the energy that was already there, creating fertile ground for transformation. Similarly, the 2015 eclipse over the Azure Ocean was followed by a series of environmental disasters. Massive storms, coral bleaching, and a sudden rise in sea levels that displaced thousands. At the same time, geopolitical tensions in the region escalated, with nations clashing over resources and borders. These events weren't random. They were part of a larger pattern. A pattern where eclipses act as cosmic catalysts, triggering shifts in human consciousness that ripple outward, affecting not just individuals but entire societies. Even further back, eclipses have marked pivotal moments in history. In 585 BCE, a solar eclipse over the ancient kingdom of Ladara, now part of the sunlit deserts, halted a war between two rival factions. The armies, seeing the sky darken, interpreted it as a sign from the gods and laid down their weapons, forging a peace that lasted for generations. In 1919, an eclipse visible from the verdant lands confirmed Einstein's theory of relativity, a discovery that revolutionized science and changed the way we understand the universe. These moments weren't coincidences. They were cosmic alignments, moments when the universe used the energy of an eclipse to push humanity forward, to break through the barriers of the old and usher in the new. The eclipse of April 2025 could be the next chapter in this story, a moment when the old structures of our world, systems of oppression, environmental destruction, technological overreach, are challenged and new possibilities emerge. We're already seeing the signs. Climate crises in the Azure Ocean, social awakenings in the Heartland territories, technological advancements that are both empowering and unsettling. This eclipse could be the spark that ignites a new era, but only if we act, only if we harness its energy for change. For spiritual seekers in the verdant lands, the frosted isles and beyond, this is your moment. You're called to step into your role as light workers, dreamers, and catalysts for transformation. You're the bridges between the cosmic and the earthly, the ones who feel the subtle energies before they manifest in the physical world. You might already be feeling the eclipse's pull, vivid dreams that feel like messages from another realm, sudden insights that come out of nowhere, an overwhelming sense that something massive is about to happen. I've heard from seekers in Taikalara who describe dreams of a great wave washing over the earth, cleansing it of old energies and making way for the new. Others in the sunlit deserts report a buzzing in their bodies, a feeling of being plugged in to a cosmic current. These aren't coincidences. They're the eclipse calling you to remember your purpose, to step into your power, to become the change you've been waiting for. Your personal growth isn't just yours. It's planetary, a vital part of the collective awakening that's unfolding. Every intention you set, every fear you release, every step you take toward your highest self ripples outward, influencing others in ways you can't always see. Imagine a single candle lighting a dark room. Its flame may seem small, but it can ignite 1,000 others, creating a blaze that illuminates the world. That's what your light does, what your awakening does. When enough individuals align with higher consciousness, when enough hearts awaken, the collective shifts. It's not about one person changing the world. It's about millions of souls awakening together, creating a wave of transformation that moves through societies, cultures, and systems. In the Frosted Isles, a group of light workers has already begun preparing for the eclipse, gathering in circles to meditate and set intentions for global healing. They're focusing on peace, on environmental restoration, on unity, believing that their collective energy can influence the world's trajectory. You can join them, wherever you are, by adding your light to the collective flame. The power of group intention is one of the most potent forces we can harness during an eclipse, a force that can amplify our individual efforts and create change on a global scale. In ancient times, people understood this power. Communities in the verdant lands would gather during eclipses, not just to watch the sky but to pray, to heal, to set intentions for the future. Their collective energy was so strong that it's said to have influenced the course of history, sparking cultural renaissances and spiritual awakenings that lasted for generations. Today, we have an even greater opportunity because we're more connected than ever. With millions of people able to unite instantly through technology, the energy of group intention is amplified exponentially. Imagine millions of souls around the world, from the sunlit deserts to the Heartland territories, all focusing on the same intention during the eclipse: peace, healing, awakening. That energy could create a ripple effect that changes everything, a wave of light that washes over the planet, cleansing it of old energies and making way for the new. The April 2025 eclipse isn't a shadow to fear. It's a light to embrace, a cosmic reckoning that demands your attention. This is your chance to grow, to evolve, to become the version of yourself you've always sensed was waiting. But you must act now. The energy is already here, and it's relentless. Don't let it overwhelm you. Harness it, rise with it, and let it propel you into a new chapter of your soul's journey. Here's how to protect yourself and thrive. Avoid crowds and overstimulating environments. They'll amplify the chaos. Instead, spend time in nature, where the Earth's rhythm can recalibrate your energy. Adjust your sleep patterns. Go to bed earlier to counteract the restless energy surging through you. Practice deep breathing and meditation daily to ground yourself. Even 5 minutes can anchor you in this storm. The eclipse is a portal, but you don't have to face it unprepared. Take these steps, and you'll not only survive, you'll soar. I need you to act now. Don't wait for the sky to darken. Share your story. Have you felt the eclipse's pull? Drop "I have felt it" in the comments and tell us about your dreams, your symptoms, your shifts. Your voice could spark someone else's awakening, and together, we'll ride this cosmic wave. Then, subscribe to Cosmic Wisdom Naturally. We're here to keep you ahead of these transformations, guiding you through every celestial shift. The universe is speaking. Are you ready to answer? When the sky darkens, your soul ignites. The eclipse may dim the sun, but your inner light is unstoppable. Shine now because the cosmos is watching.